golf games are a little bit better. So, we'll see. We'll see.
I do think you do have a partner that would probably have liked to go for it a little more often than he has in the past. So Bryce, I'm glad you're encouraging him to kind of go for it when it's on the line. So rather than, just knock into the fairway or something like that and try to play for the next shot.
Yeah, I'll never push anyone to do anything. So he can choose whatever he wants to do.
I usually don't get the option in my.
That's what I mean. You'll finally have the option, Aaron.
Tom Brady having a little fun with Aaron Rodgers, and that was Bryson DeChambeau and Phil Mickelson. They're playing golf on July the 6th. Brady has been poking at that. Yeah, fair to go for it on fourth down. The delivery wasn't awesome yesterday. Anytime you have to say it twice for the joke to land, you probably didn't make it land the first time, but Aaron was great with his comment about it. He's said his piece in the past. Everybody knows that he would just as soon have gone for it. He doesn't know why they didn't go for it. I don't know why they didn't go for it. Tom Brady doesn't know why they didn't go for it, but maybe they'll get a chance to get together again this year, and the Packers will go this time on fourth down. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see that nonetheless. I do love seeing Brady in that way where he's joking around and doing stuff like that. Yeah, it wasn't his best delivery.
I got a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Are you conflicted when your favorite player of all time is on one side of the screen and a guy of whom you're so jealous is right next to him?
I know. I'm very jealous. It's hard. It's really tough. I know. Isn't it funny? That's what everybody thinks I am. That's what they boiled it down to.
That is
jealous.
The laziest 15-year-old reaction
Seriously.
To any criticism. You're just jealous. Get out of here with that crap.
Yeah, I know.
To borrow your phrase.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Way to use it. It's properly used there. But it is cool that Brady does do that. And I think what's good about it, too, is he knows it's not like a personal thing, right? So it's a good way to do it. He knows that wasn't Rodgers' decision. That was the Packers. It was Matt LaFleur. He's ultimately the guy there that made that decision. So it's good to poke fun at it. He won the Super Bowl, and I am going to tune in to watch this. I mean, I watched it last year, and I think this might even be a little more spicier to me with Rodgers and the DeChambeau kind of combination there.
And we have to give credit for the joke where credit is due. Whoever Brady pays to do social media came up with it.
Right.
Brady just co-opted it. Like, they're his writers.
Right.
And he sees what works, and maybe he'll try some of it out when it's an opportunity for him to do a video conference like he did yesterday to promote the match coming up on July 6th.
Great. Okay. I was going to say,
go ahead.
All right, I mean, let's get to the other elephant in the room there.
Yes.
Why was he wearing a T-shirt that said, "I'm offended"? What was that for? What do you think? Like, in your heart of hearts, why do you think Aaron Rodgers is wearing a T-shirt that says, "I'm offended"?
Well, it's funny because when I first saw the video, I didn't realize it was a mad emoji under it. I thought it was Tweety Bird. Are you familiar with Tweety Bird?
I do. Yes, I'm old enough to remember that. Yes.
and I became very curious about whether anything was written under "I'm offended," because it just, the way I look at that, the way it's structured, I feel like there's something written under the mean mug emoji. I'm just curious what else is on the shirt.
I know. Well, maybe it says, "I'm offended, Mark Murphy." Maybe that's what it says on the bottom. Maybe
or
that's
I'm
what
offended,
we can't see.
I'm offended and complicated.
Right.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome. But the way that guy works, and not that we really know him personally or anything, it's like it just seems like he wore that intentionally. He's smart. It's like everything you've ever said. He's calculated, he's snarky, he's got all the traits, and I don't know. I just found that kind of amusing that he wore that. I mean, you could take it.
I want to take it a step farther, though.
Right.
Did he stay up late one night over the weekend ordering it on Etsy or eBay or somewhere so he'd have it in time for this event on Tuesday?
I don't doubt that either. I don't. I think he is, he's got a FedEx account. He can get next day shipment and get that done. So I don't doubt that either. I think that was nice and intentionally planned, and like a good little shot there. That's kind of like, might not go noticed by a lot of people.
I just love to think that these guys are like the rest of us when it comes to things like that, like checking his phone, refreshing the update with the tracking number to see if it was released for shipment and sent to the facility, and what time do I think it's going to show up, and peeking through the curtains to see if the white truck's coming up the hill. I wonder if he was like, hey, I got to get that shirt. Oh, I got to get that shirt.
Need that
message.
message.
Get here by 10 o'clock. I got to get that shirt. I'm sure at some level they are normal. I don't know at what level they're normal, but at some level they're normal.
Yeah, no, they are normal, and I think they're all a little bit more petty than we think they are. Listen, I lived with a really good quarterback, maybe not of the level of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. I could tell you, yeah, he's just like a lot of the other people on this planet. He is. There's no doubt about it. So yes, and I don't know. It'd be tough for you. What do you do when you got like a FedEx delivery and you're looking for it? You got to walk all the way down your mountain to get down there to look for the car?
We have a road.
Oh.
We have a road.
Well, I didn't know. I thought you had a gate at the bottom. They weren't allowed up until you see. Or do you just watch them on your camera, and that's how you know? They go, I'm with Chateau Floria. Let me turn the camera on to see him coming up?
You don't need a gate at the bottom when you got a shotgun at the top, first of all. Second, they just drive right up.
Okay.
They drive right up.
All right.
And I have a dog.
Oh.
That dog hears the truck 5 miles away.
Yeah, right.
So
I bet.
As soon as the final approach up the hill is made, the dog starts barking, and so we know that there's a delivery made. But we have cameras and other security devices. And
yeah, a shotgun. I like that. I want to put that on my driveway, like on a plaque right there. Gate at the bottom, shotgun at the top. Come in as the police.
They probably think you do have a shotgun with the chickens and the
they probably do. You're right.
The dogs and the whatever other
Everything
animals you got running around there.
Yeah.
All right. Aaron Rodgers also was asked a question that was very sarcastic in tone and content, but he gave a straight answer to it. It was really strange. Let's listen to the question from the host, whose name escapes me. His initials are BA. I know that because Rodgers repeats them. But the question and then the answer from Rodgers as it relates to this eventful offseason that he's been experiencing.
You've really kept a low profile this offseason. I've hardly seen your name at all. You haven't hosted any TV shows or been involved in any kind of controversy or anything. It's been a nice, peaceful offseason for you, it sounds like, AR.
It's been, thank you, BA. It's been one of those quiet off seasons you just dream about, where you can just kind of go through your process on your own quietly. And, that's all you can ask for as an older player in the league and someone who's been around for a long time and just enjoys that time to yourself, to just relax, to not be bothered, to not have any obligations or anything going on. And, I think that's what this offseason's been about. It's been about really enjoying my time and spending it where I want to spend it and not feeling like I have to go anywhere, not having any responsibilities, but still being an NFL player at the same time. It's been great.
BA was Brian Anderson.
Brian Anderson,
TNT.
that's right. Yeah.
Brian Anderson. And it was just so odd that he was trying to set him up with that sarcasm, and there was this very matter-of-fact, unironic response from Rodgers saying, hey, I just wanted an offseason without obligations. Like, that's all it is. All this stuff that's gone on since the fuse was lit right after the loss to the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game and the bomb exploded on the first day of the draft. There's nothing to it at all. I just wanted to have an offseason with no obligations. Well, we did have one obligation last week. I would consider a mandatory minicamp an obligation.
Right.
So the whole answer was weird to me, and it makes me think he really is setting up a return, and then he'll act like, what's the big deal? What's everybody looking at? I don't get it. What's wrong? I'm here to play football. I had a quiet off season. I had no obligations, and now I'm here, and now I'm back, and I'm an NFL player again. He mentioned that about being an NFL player. Didn't say he's going to play for the Packers,
right?
But I think he's preserving that ability to just show up at the first day of training camp and act like everything was fine.
I don't doubt that. I think that's going to be his move ultimately. Not that like everything's fine, but yeah, I don't think he's going to like address this and just open up the vault and just let us all know his heart and everything that went on this offseason. I don't know. He's probably going to play coy, like continue to act like, yeah, it wasn't quite as big a deal as it was and all of those type of things. There's no doubt. Listen, I don't know. I mean, you look at that right there with that clip and everything he said there. He's trying not to hijack the tournament, I think, to a degree and not make it all about him and his offseason and all of that and make headlines there. So I do understand that to a degree. But, like, I've seen this clip now 3 times, and like there's one thing I notice every time. When he gets asked the question, he's kind of grinning. Brady's laughing. It's almost
Brady
like
loves it.
Love it.
Brady loves it.
It's like BA told him, and Brian Anderson's a great dude. Like, hey, I'm going to ask you this question. And like they almost joked about it before they did this. And like, that's where, and even the way Rodgers answers it, he goes, yeah, thanks, BA, I appreciate that. Like, I felt like that was kind of sarcastic where he was like, yeah, thanks for that question. We all know the obvious answer.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Exactly. So I felt like there was something there. And yeah, he intentionally avoided, the meat and potatoes part of that conversation, whether it's the sake of he just doesn't want to deal with it or maybe he just wants to keep this to the match and not take away from that.
And I guess Brian Anderson had to ask the question.
Yeah,
how can
right?
you not ask the question?
Right.
But the answer sets up what we ultimately could get. If he can't find a way out of this maze that allows him to get whatever it is that he wants, and we still don't know what he wants because, number one, he won't tell us, and number two, the people to whom he's told what he wants, like James Jones, will tell us anything and everything but what Aaron Rodgers wants. The beautiful mystery continues, concocted in large part by Aaron Rodgers. And I guarantee you, Chris, he is giving us a prime example of a dynamic that I've pointed to in the past. Everybody look at me. What the hell are you looking at? He wants everybody to talk about him, and he wants to reserve the right to be pissed off that people are spending all this time talking about him. I think he loves it. And whether he loves it or not, I just think that he can't avoid creating this situation. It's just happened. And there's an element of normal human being in that as well. That, not all of us have the opportunity to be in that situation where we can create so much attention and then resent the attention we've created. But I feel like that's what he's doing. Not to psychoanalyze him, but I really feel like there's an element of that to this.
I do too. I don't deny that. And I love Aaron Rodgers. I mean, yeah, he's my favorite and everything like that. But no, I think you're real with that like read on him a little bit as a person. Again, not that I know him that well. I mean, I walked down the fairway with him twice in my life, okay? When I was out in Lake Tahoe. It's the only time I've really ever talked to Aaron Rodgers. So that's where, yeah, I agree with you from all these years of watching him and doing and interviews and things like that. But at the same time, it is a tough situation. Yes, he did create a situation here, but he didn't really create it. He's created the current situation of why we're talking about it because it was the result of another situation created by Green Bay. So yeah, he had to let like some of his thoughts be known as far as maybe wanting to be traded like we've heard and all of those type of things to get out of a situation that he's not happy with. So now, yeah, he's never going to give us like the press conference real answers that we want. We're never going to know, his tactical reasons behind some of these things. No, he's not. And he's going to give us bland answers like you're saying that's going to make it sound like we were a little too crazy to read into that. That is the way I think he'll play it, but I can't fault him for it either. Maybe he could approach it a little differently during training camp, but I don't fault him for this situation he's in, and it's a tough situation to handle for sure.
Matt Casey just mentioned something that we have to look forward to.
Yeah.
I don't know, within the next 5 or 10 years, the Aaron Rodgers memoirs, the
right.
Rodgers spin on everything that's happened. Who will write it with him? He'll probably write it himself. He's smart enough to do it. The content will be very interesting, and maybe I'll get an advance copy so I can say to all of you, don't waste your time reading that crap. That would be the ultimate turnabout. He's made it clear, though, when he's done playing football, he's not going to be involved in broadcasting football.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's
right.
going to do, and we know about the Jeopardy stuff, and the executive producer of Jeopardy thinks that he can have an even better post-football career than he had as a football career, which is a pretty high bar. But he's said multiple times that he doesn't want to be involved in broadcasting football, which, if Tony Romo's getting $1 million a game,
Yeah,
I'd like to think Aaron Rodgers could walk right through the door and get $1 million a game.
yeah. I mean, that'll always be there, right? I mean, for guys like him, I mean, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the second they say they want to do that, networks are going to go, "What? Okay, yep. Let me see if we can figure out, something to get you on here." I mean, yeah, but he does not seem that to be that type of guy. You're right. He's got other interests. I mean, he travels around the world. He certainly seems to be, a little bit more diverse maybe than your typical quarterback as far as that stuff is concerned. And, yeah, I could see him totally stepping away. He's just not – I don't know. I just don't see him being the type of guy that's going to dissect things for people on TV and want to be a part of all of that stuff. He's gone all in on football for a long time, and when it's over for playing, he's done.
Well, one thing he hasn't been doing during this quiet offseason is eating excessive amounts of food. He still looks skinny.
Yeah, better.
Pull up that picture again. When do you have to get the suit of armor,
right,
the flesh armor on your midsection, so you're able to withstand the pounding that you're going to take as a 37-year-old quarterback in the NFL?
I would think that's got to start here, like, pretty soon. As far as putting that armor on, like you're talking about. Again, getting in the weight room, working out, building that structure, not only for like the armor you're talking about, but again, this is a guy that does still depend on his movement and being explosive and trying to, get out of the pocket from time to time and make those throws. So, yeah, it's definitely something I'll be watching because he's been skinny in every video we've shown. And you know me, I'm always about the legs and the butt and those type of things. To me, that was a huge difference of what I saw from Rodgers in 2020 to 2019, and I think you've heard me say that. In 2019, I thought, ooh, maybe he's lost a little bit of a step, and if you go back and look at him at that time, he got into, he wanted to be the Brady, yoga, I'm going to try to do all that stuff. His pants didn't even fit him. It really didn't. They barely went over his ass if you really watch it. Last year, it looked different. It did, and his play was different. So, as a fan of him, I'm going, okay, let's go. Let's get in the weight room. Here we go. Because he's not Tom Brady. Explosive movements are more a part of his game, and he can't just be doing yoga and eating avocado ice cream all the time. That's not the way he plays.
Did you catch the comment that he made when he was messing around with Phil Mickelson, talking about intimidating Phil with his calf muscles? And he said that the muscle that he injured, the leg that he injured, it doesn't look the same as the other one. I mean, I've pulled a calf muscle, and it looks the same. He must have had a pretty serious injury. Maybe it's from when Ndamukong Suh stomped on his leg. But isn't that odd to think he's got one calf muscle that looks different than the other?
Well, it is odd, yeah. I mean, you don't see that very often. He's had a what? I mean, how many times has he had problem with that calf muscle? I'm going to say it's been at least 3 times, right, in his career. So it could be at the point where, if you've stretched that connection point where that calf inserts there, that you can damage it enough to where it starts to look different. Like I've done that, not that I'm Aaron Rodgers, but my bicep tendon, I kind of pulled that. I tore that. It never kind of looks the same. I got like a hole in my right bicep. So that does happen with those kind of injuries. A little odd. But, he's a high-end athlete. And he can't just be like, hey, I'm just going to sit here and throw and, be skinny and not explosive and do those type of things, or his game is going to fall off in a big way.